Hello and welcome to episode 36 of I Will Cast Anything. We're on Cloud Kingdom for, I'm sorry, I thought the game was paused for a second there because SuperHumble's drones aren't moving. We're on Cloud Kingdom for a ZVP. The Zerg player in the red spawning in the bottom left hand position is SuperHumble. And the blue Protoss player spawning in the top right hand position is GINGERJAM. This is a replay of the SuperHumble Sembi. It is the final in a pack of 3, and it is actually the 6th replay overall he has sent me, so repeat custom from GINGERJAM, from SuperHumble even, and we appreciate that at I Will Cast Anything. And of course we know how SuperHumble likes to do it. He likes to play different races all the time, and he's playing Zerg in this one. Let's see if Protoss is going to build a wall off down here. No. Interesting choice. Got a pylon scout coming out from Protoss, moving across the map and not choosing to immediately wall off this area here, which is what you see a lot of Protoss players do on Cloud Kingdom. So we'll see what GINGERJAM has planned for this, and we're not seeing any early spawning pool aggression out of the Zerg player. Nor any drone scout early on either. And now the probe has arrived, swings through, sees no pool. That's great. In fact, pool just going down now, 15 pool, very standard, and getting that gas as well to get Zergling speed nice and early, which we all enjoy. Here comes the first gateway. Oh, and a pylon goes down to block the hatch there. That will be irritating for SuperHumble. I think that second hatch was just about to be placed. And this drone is running away. The drone was gonna come and build a second hatch here. Oh, that's a slightly poor micro from SuperHumble there. I think one drone does beat one probe head on, but not standing and fighting just yet. And will this probe come and build a cheeky pylon down here? No, it looks like that probe's going home. Oh, but still in position to block the hatchery. There was a window there of opportunity for the hatch to come down, but instead we see 4 Zerglings coming out to deal with this pesky probe. The gateway has completed for GINGERJAM, and the second nexus is coming down. Here's that hatchery at long last. This probe is just going to sit here until it's murdered. And those 4 Zerglings are actually heading across the map, not coming to deal with this probe, so doesn't even care. Maybe knowing that this wall off isn't up from this Overseer, Overlord poking in, wants to go back there, run up in there and kill some workers. And GINGERJAM is not going to be able to do anything about it. Cancels that pylon. Oh, might be able to get a building down now, maybe? It looks like not going for worker kills, but instead going to harry away at this nexus, but the Zealot will come out and push those away in pretty short order. Looks like the probes are even being pulled to try and save that nexus. I don't think it was in danger from just 4 Zerglings. Zealot's about to pop. There it is. And Zerglings will be murdered. The Zealot attacked its own pylon for a second there, which was a little bit weird. And these Lings will be driven off, although there are quite a few here now. Oh, gets a good surround. Up to 3 kills now. Oh, and I think the Zealot is going to live just barely. Yep, cleans up those Zerglings. And all is well at Protoss base. The second hatch is up and running, but no drones to it yet. Plenty of drones at this first base. Zergling speed has been researched, but not that many Zerglings out on the map. Quite a significant worker lead for Protoss early on in the game here, so skipping some workers to build those Lings, which didn't really do terribly much for SuperHumble, didn't really pay off there, so I think GINGERJAM has a slight lead here. Still building up that force of Lings, finally having gotten rid of that pesky pylon, getting a third. Oh, might catch this Stalker out here in the middle of nowhere. Perfect surround. Stalker will die. Now that is some progress at last for SuperHumble. But I think these Lings are going to be cleaned up here by this Oh, might be able to get another stalker? No, not quite. Some of these workers on slightly low health, but nothing too terrible. Did get the zealot. Might get the stalker too. Oh, yes. Well, cleaning out those early units, but losing all these lings. Not doing any damage, but able to run into the main now. This is more for a scout than for anything else. Warp gate research is about to finish up. After which point this ling will be killed, I am sure. But it looks like ling production is... no, ling production... just about to say ling production is slowed down, but constant speed ling production at the moment on a low level. Still behind on drones. It looks like we're seeing pylons going down in preparation for some cannons. And now some worker kills are going to start to happen for SuperHumble. Got 2 there. Not a whole lot, and there's still no zealot in that wall, but now the warp-ins are going to be coming thick and fast. And this kind of light ling harassment is going to get less effective though. Ooh, they're not going to run in here, they're not going to get that pylon. It's much too tough for 3 lings. Still only 2 worker kills. Oh, but here comes some more. This multi-wave ling harassment does manage to take out a pylon. There's a lot of zealots here now though. And they're going to chew through those lings. Might be able to get some worker kills. Chewing on this pylon again up here. And behind all this harassment, getting his lair is SuperHumble, and getting some cannons up at the front. Oh no, getting double forged for a bit of a wall. Doesn't even have a forge yet, so can't build cannons. Getting into some more gas here, so some upgrades and some cannons will be coming. Fed up with this ling harassment. And then some more gateways after that, one would expect. We'll see what SuperHumble's tech choice is once that lair finishes up. Haven't seen a roach warren yet. Will we see straight to infestors? We do see an evolution chamber coming down now. Still only the 1 gas for Zerg though. Now we see the roach warren started. And more gates are indeed coming down, as well as 3 cannons here at the front gate. And GingerJam is moving out. He had to warp in all of these zealots and stalkers to deal with that ling harass, so might as well put them to some use. A couple of advanced pylons have gone down. These spine crawlers are going to finish up before this push comes though, I think. But lots of stalkers are being warped in here. Up to 6 stalkers, only lings to defend this at the moment. That roach warren is about to finish. But I don't think that SuperHumble knows this is coming. 3 spines isn't quite going to be enough, but here come those speedlings, and they are going to clean this up. I think one of the spines does go down, but this force is going to be pushed off. Well, temporarily pushed off, but here come more warp-ins. A lot of unit spend going on for both players early on in this game. But 3 bases, fully mining on minerals for SuperHumble. Still no more gas. Putting down more spine crawlers up at this second, worried about more attacks, but the 2 at his third are going to go down, and in fact I think this third hatch might go down. 1 roach here trying to defend, that's not going to be any good. I think this hatchery is done for. SuperHumble's going to be back to just 2 bases against his opponent, who is also on 2 and 2 very well defended bases at the moment with that wall and cannon situation. Here comes some more gas and a macro hatch to make up for the one that was just lost for the Zerg player. Meanwhile, nothing but units at the moment for the Protoss player, only on 5 gates. So cut off gateway production in order to build this Zealot Stalker force. There are too many spines and roaches up here for them, and they are going to be pushed off. It looks like a small ling force is being sent across the map. Oh, no, just being sent around to try and flank here. Oh, is there a hatchery going to be taken up at the top here, perhaps? Trying to expand somewhere slightly different on the map. Here comes a Zealot warp in. And there are 3 pylons down here now. 4 Protoss Zealots chasing these lings in a circle. Very, very silly. Oh, and double expanding, so SuperHumble saying, okay, you think you've got me contained in my base? I'm just going to go expand to other parts of the map where you don't know that I am yet. And this Zealot Stalker force is just hanging around out here, not really watching this upper entrance. But a third is being taken out now. Now the army comes home from GingerJam to protect this third while it goes up. But it's going to be pretty uncontested, I think. SuperHumble is trying to build up a bit of a roach army here, and finally upgrades for both players. +1/+1 for Protoss, and +1 ranged and roach speed for SuperHumble, our Zerg player. Oh, there's some cannons going up here. That's bad news. Trying to retake this hatchery as well as SuperHumble, so expanding all over the place. This is more than enough roaches to deal with this though. And indeed, cancel comes down from GingerJam, who is now supply blocked for having all these pylons in the middle of the map taken out. That's unfortunate. But with that third base, many more gateways are coming down from Protoss, which is all very good. And we're also seeing plenty of, we're also seeing a robotics facility. One robotics facility is plenty of robotics facilities, it must be said. So SuperHumble is going to be up to a lot of hatcheries pretty shortly. It's going to be able to get a lot of mining done. Still only on 40 drones though, so we'll have to drone up a bit. But we'll be able to produce a heck of a lot of units. Has taken the gas, one of the gases, getting the other on this natural, so still quite gas poor. That's why we haven't necessarily seen any particularly high-tech units for SuperHumble just yet. But yeah, we see purely Roach Ling so far, and we do see a Nidus network. Now I was wondering if this was going to come out. The last Zerg game I watched from SuperHumble, I believe, was on this map as well, and it involves some very creative double Nidus network use, and again it looks like we're going to see double Nidus networks. I don't know if there are any spots up here around this main base area that it's going to be possible to Nidus into without being immediately spotted, but if you can distract your opponent, get their eyes off the minimap with an engagement elsewhere on the map, it can be potent. The Nidus networks finish up, and big wave of Lings just came out, and now we see the push coming up the front, and I suspect we'll see Nidus networks full of Lings in the back perhaps behind this push. Just boiling floods of Lings coming out of these bases. All of those gates have finished up for Protoss though, and even more are going down. How many gates have we got here? We got 8 gateways, 2 more being constructed, so plenty of gateways to warp in, plenty of units. And now the Nidus networks are popping up, 2 at the back of the base here. The army is not anywhere near this. It's going to have to be pulled back pretty quickly. If the probes were pulled, they could kill these off, but they've not been pulled in time, so they are retreating. Here come some warp-ins, but they're going to be too late. The Nidus network is out. Oh, this one's going to go down pretty quickly, but the second one is going to spew out a roach army. Here it comes. Oh, getting some good worker kills. This Immortal is stuck here and doing nothing. This bottleneck that has been created in the space is really not helping GingerJam at the moment. The Nidus network has gone down there, so this army is trapped, but it's not the biggest army, so I don't think it's going to be too terrible to sacrifice it. No major structure damage has been done just yet. Here come 2 more Niduses, so going all in on this Nidus attack at the moment. 14 workers killed so far. And scrambling, finally getting up in here to defend this, but Move Command has got these Stalkers in a really unfortunate position here. And they are dying rapidly, although these 2 Nidus networks I don't think are going to get any units out of them particularly. No, they're not. So just this Roach Force left here, but the Nidus networks just keep on coming. SuperHumble, perfectly willing to pour resources into this, is getting some infestors behind this. And it's amazing how long this Roach Force has survived. All these Roaches have got kills on them. Are finally being cleaned up by the Stalkers here. The second Stalker force needs to come back. That Nidus network's not going to get anything done. Finally, I think GingerJam is going to clean this up. But my, that was a devastating move. Fairly even on resources lost, but definitely not even on grey hairs after that repeated Nidus network attack at the back of the base here. Slightly shell-shocked, I think. GingerJam trying to recover here, get his probes back to where they need to be, get his army back to where it needs to be. Rebuilding, looks like that simulator was taken down at some point there. SuperHumble not mining particularly hard on these bases, doesn't seem to really want to go above 50 drones at the moment, has just sort of been pulling away from his main as it's been mined out to these fresher bases. Doesn't really have very many at all on this natural expansion here. But is up to 7 infestors now, gathering energy. Hasn't gone up to hive yet. And now we see the attack coming from GingerJam, fed up with being Nidus Network. We've got a lot of zealots in here. +2 armor's just about to finish up with no armor upgrades yet for Zerg. Here come the infestors though. Oh, good fungal growth in there, but some of these infestors are going to be taking some unnecessary damage there. But I think that was a slightly reckless attack driven by anger from GingerJam, and it's not been terribly effective. I think his army is going to be taken out here, mostly just sentries left, 3 stalkers. Yep, this army is going to be cleaned up. But a fair amount of damage was done there. Oh no, one infestor's been... More move command problems here. Infestors burrowing to recover some health there. And yes, that army has been cleaned up. There were some more stalkers warped in, but they are heading home. Not going to get involved in any space. But look at these upgrades for Protoss. +3 weapons is coming. So big upgrade advantage for Protoss. Big base advantage for Zerg. And going heavy on these infestors now. Those ranged upgrades will help with the infested Terrans, of course. And also droning a bit more heavily, trying to get that economy up. Get up to more like 60 or 70 probes where you want to be. But really, really behind on upgrades and going to be facing some higher tech units as the Templar Archives is coming down for GingerJam. Looks like we might see a bit of a push maybe with these roaches and infestors here. SuperHumble does have a 60 supply advantage at the moment, so could do some damage with a push, but quite heavily defended. We can see the front areas of these bases for a Protoss player. Lots of cannons, plenty of Archons out on the field already as well. Now we see some armor upgrades coming for Zerg, and we see hive tech, and we also see good old pathogen glands, although a bit late to be building pathogen glands when you've already got 8 infestors out on the field, but still a useful upgrade to have. This Roach army's just sitting here waiting for anything nasty to come their way. Oh, and Nidus networks have gone off. Should have known these would come again. Did see 2, yep, there are 2 going on, and infestors are popping out of them. Not doing much except dying at the moment. Oh dear. Lots of infestor death. And we do see roaches attacking at the front here, taking down this forge. Very, very nice. Pushing in, going to take out some cannons. Get some more worker kills. Up to 42 workers killed now. Goodness me. That is pretty impressive stuff from SuperHumble. That is a lot of worker kills. But as the supply gap is closed with losing all of those infestors, they have to be remade. 11 about to pop with those pathogen glands, so they'll have energy to burn straight away now that they're out there. And +1 Carap is about to finish, so starting to close that upgrade gap finally. And going for the Nidus again, we see a lot of Templars coming out to get plenty of Archons. We see double Forge going up to replace the one that was destroyed for Protoss. And it looks like we're going to see Protoss move out, but there's about to be a Nidus attack in the back of his base, if I know SuperHumble. Though it might have to be abandoned, given the size of this army. GingerJam has quickly gotten up to pretty much even supply here. You see the Spire coming from SuperHumble, so potentially... Oh, these infestors don't want to get in this fight right now. Don't have any supporting units here. We do see a wave of roaches coming out, but not much except infestors on the field. It's not a great position to be in. Infestors are great, but they need units to tank for them. So they're squishy, and I think this 4th base is in some serious trouble here. This Archon army is going to eat it up, I think. Oh, a couple of roaches being rallied down. One gets picked off. I'm not sure if GingerJam even knows about this top base. Nope, has no idea. Oh, if it chases this drone... No, the drone is being killed. Oh, I think maybe Star Sense tells GingerJam there's a base up here that needs to be dealt with. Some stalkers were left behind here and a small roach infestor force has come to clean them up. But that was a pretty effective push there from GingerJam, taking out 2 hatcheries. So really harming the income and the unit production potential of the Zerg player. But SuperHumble is up to a good supply lead now, and with this roach infestor army ought to be able to clean this force of stalkers, immortals and archons up. Good arc there, great concave, and everything is going to die, dropping a couple of fungal growths there. Mostly just saving energy at the moment. Got lots of energy on some of those infestors. And expanding somewhere else now. SuperHumble really likes to expand odd corners of the map. And will we see another Nidus now? We do see that Greater Spire coming as predicted. And Corruptors on the way, so Broodlords will surely follow. Looks like SuperHumble can't decide what to do with his army for the moment, re-expanding to this 4th base position. And a significant worker lead at the moment after having killed so many of his opponent's workers. And again, no huge disparity. We see sort of 2,000 difference here in the resources lost tab, but pretty even trades in most of the big fights so far, given how deep into the game we've got. GingerJam is going to start to have money troubles pretty soon, taking this 4th base down here, but can be tricky to defend, especially against Broodlords, which can sit up on this high ground here and do some serious damage without being contested very much. And we do see 7 Broodlords coming for SuperHumble already, and it's pushed out that supply advantage very quickly. 60 supply in the lead at the moment, as GingerJam is starting to feel that economy pinch, not having as many. Oh, I don't know how this infestor got up here. It must have burrowed all the way. Isn't there an observer out? Chucks down a couple of infested Terrans. Gets 1 worker kill. Very nice. And yeah, here's an observer coming for GingerJam. Hasn't really gotten into Colossus at any point, but will need to get into some serious Blinkstalker production, if not build a starport once these Broodlords come out onto the field. You know, ideally needs to go starport and fleet beacon to really deal with this. The upgrade advantage is being closed. We see Carapace 2 and missile attacks 3 for SuperHumble and armor 3 for GingerJam. And now Roach Broodlord Infestor, I think, is going to move out. I don't think the Nidus network is really needed anymore. SuperHumble has big supply lead and could make a push at this base fairly easily, although doesn't know it's there yet, so just going to wait for now. Perhaps wait for some upgrades to finish. A few more Broodlords in there. A few more hatcheries completed and mining, and then push in and try and do some serious damage to his opponent. GingerJam is starting to get mining on this new base here, which is desperately needed for Protoss. Very low on minerals at the moment. Mostly seems to be focusing on getting lots and lots of Archons at the present time. Neural Parasite, so expecting the mothership to come out perhaps in response to his Broodlords, knowing that Neural Parasite can be incredibly effective when used on the mothership. If you drop a Vortex straight on a Protoss player's army, can ruin their whole day. And now we are going to see a push from SuperHumble. Not maxed out yet, but 60 supply lead. Here's the army of GingerJam, very heavy into Archons here. Just 1 immortal, and not... Here comes the engagement. A couple of good force fields there. Lots of broodlings flying in though, and this is not going to last very long. I don't think this army of GingerJam fighting the broodlings instead of charging in and trying to target the valuable units. Good fungals are put down. Force fields are going up to try and keep the roaches away, but it doesn't matter with these broodlords in the air. None of them have been taken down, and they are just raining down destruction. And GingerJam gives the GG.